Hey guys, in this video, we're going to go ahead and scaffold a simple mobile app using React Native and Expo Go. And by simple, literally all I mean is that we're going to create a simple app where we're going to be able to create an account, log in, view a screen, and log back out. So this is really cool. If you have a mobile app idea, this can definitely help you go ahead and scaffold the initial base of the app so you can go ahead and build whatever idea that you have. Okay, so that being said, here on my screen, I went ahead and I created this simple document, and I'm going to provide a link to download this below in the description. And basically, this is going to help us as we go ahead and we build out the app so that you have a good base for your project. Okay, so that being said, the first thing that we need to do is I'm going to go ahead and navigate to my projects folder. And so I had this on the desktop. I have this projects folder here. So literally here I have my projects. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder, and I'll just call this the Simple YouTube App Demo. All right, and you do want to hyphenate it like that. You don't want to create it with spaces because it can actually create issues when you go to actually install and build the app. All right, so now that I have this here, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and navigate over to cursor. Okay, so I have cursor pulled up here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on open project. I'm going to go ahead and click on desktop, and I'm going to navigate to this, the folder that we just set up. So you see here, simple YouTube app demo. I'm going to go ahead and open it here in cursor. And as you see here, it's empty. Definitely want to make sure that your folder is empty before we actually start building anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and paste in the prompt and the step 1 from our plan. Okay, so I told Cursor, go ahead and install a React Native app with Expo Go in the root folder of, and I tagged the folder here. If you don't know how to tag, just click on the @ symbol, write in what the folder is, the name of the folder, hit enter, and then you have it there. I'm just going to remove that. And then I have the plan below. So I said, here's the plan to follow. And then from the document that I provided, just going to go ahead and paste in all the step 1 bullet points here. And this plan is basically going to make sure that we go ahead and set up a clean installation of the app. So once we have that there, I'm going to go ahead and just click on send. And now Cursor AI is going to go ahead. It's going to run some commands in the terminal for me to go ahead and set this project up. So now that I just verified, it's going to install it in the root folder. I'm just going to hit run. And as you see here, it's going to go ahead and run all the commands. And as you see here on the left side, it's already populating some of the code files here. So we're just going to go ahead and let this run. So now that the app is installed and set up, it's prompting me to go ahead and start it. So I'm just going to hit this, I'm just going to let it run. I'm gonna let this run as well. All right, and it's just gonna check that it's set up. Now here where it says npm start, what you wanna do is you wanna click on click to focus. And as you see here, it pops this QR code. So if you have the Expo Go app installed, you can go ahead and open up the app, scan this QR code, and you're gonna be able to actually view the app on your mobile device. Now, since I'm creating a video, I'm gonna go ahead and run a different type of command so that we can actually go ahead and see this on my device here. So just a quick note, in order to get the iOS simulator, just like I have here on my screen, I'm on a Mac computer, so I went ahead and installed Xcode in the simulator, and I also have the Android version installed as well. And in a future video, I'm actually going to show a quick setup guide on how to actually get the emulator. Nonetheless, I'm just going to come here and hit npm run iOS. All right, it's going to go ahead and talk to my simulator here. As you see here, we have the simple YouTube app demo. So if you're using the Expo Go app, it's going to look just like that. And as we see here, the app is set up, right? We have this login button here. As you see, it's just logging to the console whenever the login button is pressed. Okay, awesome. So now that that's set up, there's some kind of background plumbing that we actually want to go ahead and configure for our app so that we have things like environment variables and just different backend things set up. So when we start building our app, we don't really have much of an issue. Okay, so going back to the plan, we're going to go ahead and go to step 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this. I'm going to come back into Cursor. Okay, so I'm going to say perfect, it's running. Let's execute the following. I gave it the plan. I'm going to go ahead and send it, and it's going to go ahead and run the plan for us. All right, so I'm just going to click on run. Now, just a quick note as I'm setting this up, you might see that I'm just allowing the AI to run some commands for me. And obviously it has a command, so I'm able to see what the command is and then hit run. If your cursor instance is not able to do that on your machine, there might be some kind of blocks in place just for security purposes. And so if you want to get past them, you can either prompt cursor on how to do it for you, or you can go to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT kind of give you the instructions. But it's pretty simple. Okay, so next time you pop it up, you might actually see something like this, like app demo v1. All right, and that's normal. That's just due to the backend configuration that we did. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to go ahead and kill this server. Okay, so I went ahead and just killed any other process here just to make sure that once we do this next change, everything's fresh. All right, so now that our app is set up, we're going to go ahead and link it to Supabase. That way we can get some login, logout authentication features. All right, so with that being said, in the documentation, I actually included a link here to this URL. So here they actually have some instructions here on how to actually connect your Supabase instance to Cursor through the MCP. That way the AI can just kind of help you get everything set up. So in order to connect it, I'm just going to come here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to come back into our project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on this little file icon here to actually create a new folder. I'm going to name it .cursor. All right, and I have it highlighted here. I'm going to click on new file and I'm going to type in mcp.json. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this right in here. Okay, so a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need your project reference and you're going to need a personal access token. I'm going to show you exactly how to get that right now. Okay, so I'm in the project, and if you notice here in the URL, it has project / and then it has this code right here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of this. I'm going to come back into Cursor, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just remove this right here. All right, and I'm just going to paste it in. All right, and as you see here, I accidentally copied the slash. I'm just going to remove that. So now that we have this project reference ID here, the next thing we're going to need is a access token. So back in the documentation, once you're logged into your Supabase project, you can actually click this directly, and it's actually going to take you to the screen where you can actually get your tokens. So if I go and just click this here, you see here that I have some access tokens already created. But if you want to know how to get there through the Supabase console, you can just go ahead and click on here, go to account preferences, access tokens, and then it's right here. Okay, so once you're in here, you want to go ahead and just generate a new token. So I'm just going to call it YouTube test token, and I'll just set it to expire in an hour. All right, so once we have this here, we're going to go ahead and generate this token, and it's going to give you this token ID here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy that. I'm going to come back into our project, and I'm going to just remove all of this here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and paste in our token here, and then we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now you're going to notice a pop-up here that Cursor actually recognized the MCP. You actually want to go ahead and enable that. Very important. Okay, so now that we have that enabled, I'm going to go back into our documentation, and we're going to go ahead and give Cursor this prompt here. I'm going to say Supabase has been connected via MCP. We need to install Supabase auth. Don't write any code yet. First verify you can connect to the MCP and create a plan to install auth so our login button works. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to paste that in here, and I'm going to go ahead and send it. From here, Cursor is just going to go ahead, verify that it can read the MCP. And once it's able to do that, it's going to be able to fully take care of setting up authentication for us. Okay, awesome. So as you see here, it was actually able to go ahead and connect to that MCP server for us. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm actually going to write in a prompt here, and this is where you can kind of customize it. But I'm basically going to write in a prompt to say, when I tap on that login button, I want to take me to a login screen, design it so it looks nice. From there, just take me to a simple homepage, set up maybe just a sample homepage, maybe with some dashboard stats, and then give me a logout button as well. So for the prompt, I put, great, yes, go ahead and set up auth for my project. Keep the current home screen when the user tab logs in. Take me to an auth screen to create an account or sign in. Once sign in, populate a simple dashboard with some stats. This is just for testing, and provide a logout button so that I know auth works. I'm also going to include keep the design margin clean. I'm going to go ahead and send that. And from there, Cursor is going to go ahead and get this all set up for us. Okay, awesome. So Cursor went ahead and set up all this for us here. Now keep in mind, sometimes as you're creating these things, there are little mistakes that happen, right? So I did have to come here, and there's actually an error, right? But one thing you're going to notice that if you're creating an app and there's an error, you actually can see here in a terminal, right? So if it does happen, you can come here to the terminal, highlight it, and then hit Command L if you're on Mac, and then it'll go ahead and just send it here, right? Or you can just go ahead and just reference it. So if you just click here and type in terminal, you'll be able to pull up the terminal, and then it will be able to see that error. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and see how it looks like. Okay, so if I come here, I'm gonna click on sign up. All right, it's going to ask me to create an account. All right, and it's actually going to send me a verification link to my email. So I'm going to go ahead and verify that now. All right, so I completed the authentication. I was able to log into my account. And as you see here, we have the email, last sign in. Each user has their own user ID. So we see here, right, there's an issue. Looks like the top is kind of protruding into the top of the phone here, but all of these things can be fixed, right? The most important thing though is that we actually have authentication. So if I click on log out, we go right back to the home screen. So I can log in. Again, I can put in my email, and just like that, we have our home screen. All right, so this is pretty cool. All right, so let's see if we can go ahead and just fix this real quick. So I'm actually just going to screenshot the top here, and I'm going to send it into Cursor, and let's see if Cursor can fix it real quick. All right, so I give it a prompt. I said the top of the app is going into the head of the device. Please ensure proper formatting so my app fits on all devices. All right, so it's going to go ahead and install some stuff for us here to go ahead and handle that. Okay, awesome. So it looked like it just finally finished here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all those changes. I'm going to pull up the emulator, and we see here that it finally works, right? So this looks pretty good. So if I click log out, I'm going to log back in. I'm going to go ahead and put in my credentials. And bam, just like that, it works. All right, so we have our stats screen here and our logout button. So that's pretty cool. So we just literally scaffolded ourselves a simple mobile application using React Native and Expo Go. We've included Supabase authentication. And the cool thing now is that we can actually go and build out our tables in Supabase. So if we actually want to create a real application with some data, attributes, and things saved to a database, we can actually do that. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. Hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, I'm going to be creating more content on actually using AI tools to actually build applications for both the web and for mobile. And I might even start a series where I go and I take a mobile application from just an idea all the way to a published app in the App Store, and we could see if we can actually make any money from it. And by the way, I'm actually thinking of setting up a community for people who want to build apps just like this using AI, whether it's a web-based application like a SaaS application or a mobile application just like this, where we could really dive more into detail about not just setting up the app, but actually putting together a proper backend and database and authentication. That way we're actually able to set up an app that people can use, we can make money from, and everything is secure. So if you're interested in that, please leave a comment and let me know. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.